Welcome to my review of the Motorola Moto X, which is a beautiful smartphone with all kinds of fun features, like for example this little game here inside, which I was a little bit surprised by when I opened it up for the first time here in the Motorola Moto X, because there's a really strange red hat just flying around here through the screen sometimes, and I will tell you later why. But before we go into the software a little bit more, let's check out the hardware. Like for example, we have some really special sensors built in. There's 4 of them right here, 2 of them in the bottom and 2 of them here on top, which will see your hand going over the display when the display is off. So you can see here, if I just go do this, it tells me the time and if there would be anything happening, like a new message or a new app update or anything like that. Otherwise, we have a full metal body on the outside, which is quite beautiful. We have a 13 megapixel camera in the back with dual flash, which supports 4K videos. Then here the beautiful Motorola logo. You cannot take off the back cover, which is a little bit sad, but it's available in, for example, a wooden like bamboo, real bamboo back cover. Then it's also available in plastic or in a fake leather, and this is quite nice rubberish feeling right on this one, which I like. But check out the Motorola Moto Maker store for all the options that you have to use your Motorola Moto X with. $499 is the starting price for 16 gigs, and in the Moto Maker you can get it also with 32. On the sides you have here the on and off switch, the volume rocker, and on the bottom the micro USB port for data transfer. On the top you have your 3.5mm headphone jack and your nano SIM card slot. There's no micro SD card slot on this one, so you have to live with your 16 or 32 gigs depending on what you chose. It looks like the device has dual speakers, but it doesn't. This one is only for phone calls and this one is only for listening to music. I don't know why, because here for example the Motorola Moto G of the 2nd generation, it has actually dual speakers. You can use both for listening to music. With the Moto X that is not possible. But at least it's quite light, 144 grams, and 5.2-inch Full HD AMOLED screen is really quite nice. Then also 2 gigs of internal RAM, and the Snapdragon 801 is really quite fast. If you check out here, for example, the AnTuTu benchmark, you will see that it got almost 46,000 points, which is really quite good. Then also, of course, Bluetooth 4.0 is inside for low battery usage when you have your smart bands, for example, like I do with my Fitbit here. Then you have also dual band Wi-Fi, MIMO technology, Wi-Fi A, B, G, and AC. Of course, mobile hotspots are also available. LTE 4G is also inside, so there's actually nothing missing here from the device. The front camera has not only 2 megapixels but also Full HD as a resolution, which is quite good for videos, also if you want to shoot yourself. And the battery inside is only 2300 milliamps, I have to say. For 5.2 inches that's not too much, but it's still really good in terms of battery life. I never ran out of battery after a day of really heavy usage with 3G or anything. In terms of thickness, at the thickest point it's 9.9 millimeters, and here on the sides it's 3.8. So it really is quite nice to just have in your hand or hold in your hand. And yeah, let's go a little bit around the software now to show you guys what's the special features of this phone, because it looks like it has the standard Android installed, and it actually does. Android 4.4.4, I think, with really no modifications at all, except for 3 or 4 apps that Motorola installed. And actually it's in German still, since I shot the German video before, but you can easily change it here to English, and then you will see all the features, of course, in just a GIF, as you can see now, how you would have it in your everyday use. So one of my favorite features is really this gesture that you can just go close and then you can see the time, and if somebody wrote you a message, like for example, it should be happening right now. As you can see here, a Facebook message just arrived from a buddy of mine. And yeah, this is really working by using here the sensors. And it actually also works when you just pick up your phone. You don't have to even have to use the sensors. It shows you because it's feeling that you are moving the phone around what's happening. And if you just hold it still, it will go away. And if you move it again, it should come actually back or not, because it knows that I'm still holding it. So there's of course even more gestures, like for example, just by doing this, I can start the camera. You can actually turn that feature off, and that's not a new feature. The first Moto X had also that feature. And now I can shoot here, for example, a picture of my Moto X box. right there. Just tap the screen and then you have a picture which is not quite sharp because you can't set the focus because you can only tap the screen. What you can do is actually say that you want to focus first here by enabling it on the side here in the settings. You can also enable, of course, your flash, what video quality you want to record, like for example full HD slow motion or 4K videos also. You can also turn this shake thingy on and off and all kinds of other things. And what you can also do is here on the bottom, of course, start your video and rotate the camera. But you don't even have to press this to take a selfie. You can only use your voice also. That's another special feature. You have your Motorola voice assistant here built in, which is only called Moto, which is quite nice because you can do all kinds of Google controls and even more controls just by using your voice when it's down on your bed or, for example, on your table or anywhere and you don't want to reach it because you have all your hands full. You can just talk to your phone and do all kinds of stuff, like for example, hello Moto phone, take a selfie.
Opening Google.
So usually it should start shooting a selfie now. This was now a little bit, well, it didn't work right, so let's try it again. Hello Moto phone, shoot a selfie.
Opening Google.
So I don't know why it's in German right now, but otherwise it actually opens up the camera and then it takes a selfie. So there is, of course, even more features, like, for example, I can set the alarm for the next morning. Like you can see here, it's set to 6 a.m. right now, but I can delete that and set it again, for example. Let's open here up the alarm and turn it to off, or just I can also say delete, and let's just say, hello Moto phone, set the alarm to 6 a.m. in the morning.
Opening Google.
And you can see now it's setting the alarm on my phone here, and you don't have to do anything than just talk to your phone, which is quite nice. So that's one of the features, and I chose actually the sentence hello Moto phone because, yeah, you can see it's still working, because I didn't want to do something like hello Moto. Actually, that would have been too short. And as you can see, that also works, but you can set it up quite easily by going here to the settings. I'm not hitting Motorola Connect, but actually, go here to the apps and hit Moto, and then you can see here all your actions that you could do, or even more stuff. Like here you can go to the settings and then you can set up your sentence that you want to use, but there's actually even more that you can do. Like for example here with Assist, it can automatically, for example, set the sleep time from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, so you can just easily leave your phone anywhere and it will silence it automatically. You can also say while you're driving it should turn Bluetooth automatically on, starting from a certain speed. It will know that you are driving, and it should also read your text messages out loud. And there's even more options, of course, with all of these. And you have also that GPS location built in, so if you are home, it will already now automatically that you're home and set certain things. And for meeting, when you put it face down, it will also help you automatically do things. Also here with actions, I already showed you here the twist to capture and the Moto display. What's also interesting is the wave to silence. If there's a phone call coming in and it's loud or just vibrating on your table, you can just do this and it will shut down the vibration and everything, and you can only see the name or send an automated text message back. Here with voice, you will already able to see how to manage the phrase and how it actually works. And the display, at the notification display, you can turn it actually off, and you can select from which apps you want to actually have notifications. And you can, of course, do more privacy and also set here certain things up. Now, I'm showing this all of this to you guys because that's actually the only interesting thing that Motorola installed extra. Otherwise, here the Motorola migration is just to easily copy your own old iPhone information or Android information to this phone, and Otherwise, it's all the standard Google stuff that installed, except for, of course, a few apps that I installed myself, which we'll, for example, try for a little bit gaming. I will just run here Temple Run 2, so you guys can see a little bit how the 2 gigs of RAM, the Snapdragon 801, and the Full HD display work together. After I will still show you the camera in the front, because we haven't done a selfie actually, because it didn't work out right. But you can see it didn't take long to start here the app. It looks really quite good. The sensors work also quite well. You can see I'm not a first time gamer, but I will actually die pretty soon just for you guys. So it's not that boring to just watch me here play a pretty old game. So this was the Temple Run 2 demo. I could show you all kinds of other games, but it's actually, I think, not that interesting. There's more interesting features to show, like, as I said, how does the front camera look. So I'm a bit clean shaved right now. There's not the best light here because it's night and I have a pretty bright light here coming from the side, but you can see still it would shoot a pretty nice picture, even though there's no frontal flash actually here built in, but it still looks quite nice, especially if I look at my camera and here all the details on the bottom. If I take a picture of that one, you can just really, I think, still see all the details here of my lens, for example, of the Lumix GH4. So there's actually not much else to say, as I said before, except for showing a little bit of a comparison with other devices, like for example the HTC One M8, which is a quite awesome phone, 5-inch Full HD display, dual speaker, boom sound, good cameras and everything built in, metal, and I think already has the same price point or comparable price point, so you should definitely check out both. Bigger battery in the HTC, and also we have here a micro SD slot. I also have the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 already here on the table, which means that it has, of course, a much bigger screen, 5.7 inches versus 5.2. In terms of thickness and design, it's about similar, because now we have here also metal border and everything, but you can catch a drift how big it is. I already showed you guys before the new Moto G, which has a smaller screen, actually 4.8 inches, but it's about the same size still, which is quite strange. But what I like about it actually is that you can actually exchange the back cover and put your own different colors on there without the Moto Maker, and actually have dual SIM and micro SD for only $200 and not $500, which is quite nice. And real dual speakers here. You only have one speaker for listening to music and one speaker for answering your phone calls. They don't work together, which is, I think, quite strange, because it works in the Moto G. One of really hot competitors is also the LG G3. It has a 5.5 inch display. You can see here in terms of size or just display or just height, it's about the same. But the LG G3 is thicker, has a bigger battery, bigger display, bigger resolution, also micro SD card slot, exchangeable battery as a difference, and for example, infrared port also, so you can control your TV. So a lot of more features, but also different features from the Motorola Moto X, which has, as I said, a really beautiful design, metal cover, and you can also order it with your bamboo back cover. If you just compare it with an Apple iPhone 5S, the Moto X is quite huge, because we have 5-inch versus 4-inch, and price-wise they should be now maybe about the same. But I also have an I know it's too big, the iPhone 6 Plus here with me. The iPhone 6 is not in my hands right now, so I can't show you a comparison with that, but you can see how in terms of size these two are also maybe comparable or quality, but of course price-wise and feature-wise it's completely different worlds. So this was the Motorola Moto X here in a short review. I hope you liked my my video. Till next time, peace, and again, don't forget to subscribe. There's a lot more about the Moto X and all kinds of other phones and tech and gadgets in my YouTube channel, so please subscribe and check out all my other almost 6,000 videos.